What's going on, YouTube world? My name is Jamal McKinney. Appreciate y'all for tuning in today. Be sure to hit that like button right now. Subscribe to my channel if you are new. I do post a ton of great sports videos pretty much almost every single day, giving y'all great, amazing content. Okay, getting right to it. So, okay, let's start right at the bat. Shout out to the Raptors. Shout out to them. Shout out to their fans. Shout out to the city of Toronto. Shout out to that whole country of Canada. I think they deserve it. Their basketball team has not been this relevant in a long time. I understand they were, getting the conference championships as of recently. I mean, LeBron James pretty much knocked them out every single time. LeBron James leads the East. They bring in Kawhi Leonard. They traded for him from the Spurs. Okay, and they're NBA champions. I'm happy for them. I couldn't be more happier for a fan base deep down. I picked the Raptors to win in 7 games, okay? And, they won 6 pay. I'll take it. I had a pretty good feeling it was just their year. It seemed like once they came back from the Milwaukee Bucks when they were down 2-0, when I thought they were dead in the water. I thought the series was over. I thought the Milwaukee Bucks were easily going to the NBA to the NBA Finals. Once they tied the series up and won game number 5 of that series, I said, man, there's something special about this team. It really is. I mean, Kawhi Leonard, shout out to Kawhi Leonard, won Finals MVP, the second Finals MVP of his career. He definitely has now solidified himself as, if he wasn't already, a top 50, top 40 player of all time, probably even higher than that. I just don't think he's, put up enough elite years yet. But he's well on his way. He could definitely crack the top 20, maybe even the top 15 if he continues to go on this tear throughout his career. Kawhi Leonard, shout out to him. He was by far the best player in these playoffs, considering the fact that Kevin Durant got hurt. Okay, he absolutely balled out. This Toronto Raptors team would be nowhere. It would be nowhere without him. Okay, if they had DeMar DeRozan this year, I don't think they're getting out the East. Okay, if they had the same exact team they had last year, they would not have gotten out the East. Kawhi Leonard deserves huge major props. This is a team that would have lost in the second round. Let's not forget, they went 7 games with the Philadelphia 76ers, okay? Kawhi Leonard showed why he's one of the top 5 defenders in the league, maybe the best defender in the league, okay? He went on to Giannis. He shut down Giannis when he needed to. He played excellent defense throughout the playoffs. His offense really came along, was averaging well over 30 points in these playoffs. He deserves a lot of props. And is he the best player in the world? I don't know. I mean, I'm going to let you guys decide that in the comment section, okay? But if we're just considering right now, at this moment, I think he might be. I understand LeBron James is still there. I understand Kevin Durant is still there. Let's just put it this way. Kawhi Leonard has definitely solidified himself as a top 3 player in the league right now, okay? Just right now. Absolutely amazing. But I think what people are overlooking is the fact that, Masai Ujiri, the team president, okay? He deserves a lot of props. This is a guy that fired the coach of the year, Dwayne Casey. He fired him. And I gave him a lot of heat for that. I did not agree with the move. I thought Dwayne Casey should have stayed. I just thought that, he couldn't beat LeBron James, and he ultimately couldn't. But Masai Ujiri said, I see something in Nick Nurse. I think that we need to move on from Dwayne Casey. Usually, it's hard to move off of parts when you're good. The Toronto Raptors were a good team last year. They were the #1 seed in the East. They were a good team. It's hard to move off of parts when you're good. But the people that really are successful is when they say, hey, we're good, but we're not good enough. We're going to move some parts. So he let go. He fired Dwayne Casey, brought in Nick Nurse. Nick Nurse did an excellent job. I did not expect this great of a coaching job from him. He deserves a whole lot of props. And also, Masai Ujiri traded for Kawhi Leonard. Let's not forget, Kawhi Leonard, people thought that he would be there for just a 1-year rental. They really thought that. They don't think Kawhi Leonard, a lot of people thought Kawhi Leonard was not going to stay. Let's not forget, Kawhi Leonard did go out and say, you can go look it up. He said he wanted to be a Spur for life. Ultimately, it didn't work out. Got traded. A lot of people think he's going to go to the Clippers. I have a real big belief that Kawhi Leonard is probably potentially going to stay in Toronto now because of this run. So they risked the fact that Kawhi Leonard may leave next year. They still traded for him, and they got him an NBA championship, okay? And they traded for Marc Gasol too. And they traded away Jonas Valanciunas, a great player for him. Marc Gasol is very old, but he has championship experience. They rolled the dice. They weren't afraid, and they are NBA champions as a result. And also, a lot of people don't forget, I'm going to get to this a little bit. A lot of people forget that Kawhi Leonard was getting questioned by the San Antonio Spurs saying, hey, do you have heart? How are you here to play? What are you doing? What are you doing sitting out with your injury? Kawhi Leonard decided to put his foot down. He was not like Kevin Durant and say, you know what? I'm not playing Tom Floyd healthy. And as a result, he's now a 2-time NBA Finals MVP because he decided to sit out and get his body right, okay? I will never knock players for sitting out if they don't think their body's right. The doctor may clear you to play. That doesn't mean you necessarily need to go out there and play. If you're not close to 100%, don't play. That's why I was not a big a fan of Kevin Durant going out there and playing because I didn't think he was close to 100%. I understand the championship, you know, and I give Kevin Durant a whole lot of props. He already had my respect. He has even more respect now, and I get it. It was Kevin Durant's decision. I got no problem with his decision. I'm just saying, I wasn't going to risk my career to go out there for these people. I mean, let them die. I mean, but it's whatever, you know. Shout out to Kawhi Leonard. Shout out to the Raptors organization who does not get enough credit. One of the reasons why I picked the Raptors to win this series was because of their amazing depth, okay? Kawhi Leonard does not necessarily have an established number 2 on his team. He really doesn't. But you look at Pascal Siakam. You look at Serge Ibaka. You look at Kyle Lowry. You know, you look at Marc Gasol. You look at Powell. I mean, he has about 4, 5. Danny Green, too. Danny Green stepped up in this series. He has about 5, 6, 7 guys that step up every night for him. I think last night there were 4 players that scored double figures for the Raptors in game number 6 in that closeout game. So shout out to the Raptors. They really just outplayed the Warriors, you know, pretty much from start to finish, you know, except for game number 2. I think it was in that third quarter where the Warriors went on a 20-0 run. I mean, take that out. The Raptors probably win that game. Okay, they really do. And then take out game number 5. The Warriors hit 22 threes. I think the Raptors only hit about 8 threes. And they only won by 1 point. So the Raptors pretty much outplayed the Warriors in 80% of the quarters that they played in this series. I mean, defensively, the Raptors had the personnel, okay? You know, they had the personnel defensively. I thought they were going to bother the Warriors defensively. One thing you can't teach is length. That's something scouts always talk about, length. The Toronto Raptors have length on offense and defense, okay? They executed, they did what they needed to do, and ultimately the best player in this series was Kawhi Leonard, and it showed, okay? That's the reason why the Raptors are NBA champions, because of their depth, their amazing depth. Kawhi Leonard was the best player in this series. They're great, excellent defense, the great coaching of Nick Nurse, okay? Their depth, like I said, and they just ultimately got it done. And they swept the Golden State Warriors at Oracle. Never did I think the Warriors would lose 3 games in Oracle Arena in an NBA Finals series. I mean, that's crazy. I did not expect that. That's where it brings me to, you know, why the Warriors lose. Well, injuries were a part of it. You know, I understand injuries were a part of it, but let's be real. The Warriors have had injury luck throughout their whole entire dynasty. I mean, they really have. You know, the first year of the NBA, where they win their first NBA title, they faced no starting point guards. All the starting point guards of those teams they faced in the playoffs and in the finals were hurt. And their first title was won because LeBron James was playing with a bunch of bench players. I mean, that's really ultimately the reason they won that championship. Anyone in their right mind knows that if Kyrie Irving and Kevin Love were there, the Warriors lose that first championship. And ultimately, people forget that CP3 blew a 3-1 lead versus the Rockets that year. You mean to tell me CP3 and Blake Griffin with that squad couldn't have beaten that Warriors team that year? I don't know. Okay, so, and then, you know, the next year they fall flat on their face and blow the 3-1 lead. And then they add Kevin Durant. Okay, that's where I come in and say, people that say Kevin Durant, the Warriors didn't need him, the Warriors are better without KD, are just loco. Yes, if Kevin Durant played in this series, you could clearly see they would have won this series. They would still be playing now if the Raptors were playing as well. They probably honestly win the series in 6 games based on what I saw in game number 4 and based on what I saw in game number 1. I think they probably would have won both those games. You know, I really do. You know, I just think they would have won the series without Kevin Durant, if they had Kevin Durant. You could clearly see it. They needed that extra scorer. They needed that guy that can put them over the top. They needed that guy to average 30 points a game, 34 points a game. KD was averaging 34 points per game, shooting about 50-something% from the field, over 40% from 3. He was clearly the best player in these playoffs and on his way to being the best player in the league. He made them a dynasty. There's no 2-time defending champions without KD, okay? There's no 2-time defending champions. And if they lost that first series versus the Cleveland Cavaliers, who knows? Would they have ever won a title? We don't know. But bottom line, Kevin Durant's rings are validated. He was the finals MVP of both series. He put them over the top. He was the one taking over. He was the one hitting those clutch shots. He gave the Warriors that security blanket they need. Okay, so I don't want to hear any more KD slander, okay? I don't want to hear no more than, okay. I saw something on Twitter that said, Kevin Durant still has 0 rings. Baloney! Baloney! Come on now. I don't want to hear that anymore. Kevin Durant's rings are validated. Now, ultimately, KD and Klay Thompson. Klay Thompson goes down. Kevin Durant, obviously hurt. Probably going to be out for the rest of the year next year. Maybe same with Klay Thompson. I'm not going to say this Warriors dynasty is over, but for the foreseeable future, at least next year, you can just book it. I don't know who's coming out the West. I really don't know. It's pretty much wide open between the Lakers, between the Oklahoma City Thunder, between the Portland Trail Blazers, between the Houston Rockets. I think those are the teams right now that are front runners. Now, does Kawhi Leonard stay in Toronto? Personally, if I were him, I'll probably stay in Toronto because I think that they're going to offer him a lot more money than the Clippers. I think they're going to offer him a lot more money than most teams out there. And the Clippers are one team that Kawhi Leonard has been linked to, okay? Pretty much I think what the Raptors are going to do, they're going to offer him a little bit more money because they know they can't sign free agents, okay? So they're probably going to offer him more max dollars, okay? And if I'm Kawhi Leonard, I'm taking the money. I got a whole country behind me. Why leave Toronto? Why go to the Western Conference that's so stacked? Pretty much right now, it's Milwaukee and Toronto in the East. You pretty much have a path to the finals each year. I understand there's some players that are old, but you can get rid of some of those contracts, okay? So my big take is Kawhi Leonard will probably stay in Toronto. He honestly might be the best player in the league right now. Ultimately, the Warriors needed KD. They needed KD. KD's the reason they were a dynasty. If Kevin Durant played these finals, they would have won. But it's not taking anything away from the Toronto Raptors. I want to be very clear. It's taking nothing away from what they've done. They played an excellent series. You know, they earned it, okay? And injuries are part of the equation. But Steph Curry's got 3 other All-Stars on his team. He really does. So, you know, it's whatever. Shout out to the Raptors. They're NBA champions. You know, happy for the city of Toronto. Happy for Drake. Happy for Canada. That's pretty much a wrap for this video. I will be dropping some more videos related to some of these topics. There's a lot of storylines to talk about. Be sure to hit that like button right now. Subscribe to my channel if you are new. I do post a ton of great sports videos weekly and almost every single day. It's your boy Jamal McKinney, and I'm Ghost.